Over the years, Lanparte has been collecting all kinds of feedbacks from customers who's in the field. They want a gimbal that can shoot portrait mode for live streaming. They also want a new gimbal that can take both smartphone and GoPros like the HHG01. They want to change the power button to a more accessible location and replace the control buttons with the joystick. On the LA3D-S2, you can finally have the whole package. This new gimbal has way better motors that can travel much further in each axis compared to the last generation product. Also, the new buttons are located at much accessible places on the handle, saving the bottom of the gimbal for a 1/4-20 threaded hole that can be used to mount your gimbal on different platforms for multiple shooting options. The gimbal features 3 operation modes, which are the default and most straightforward follow mode, semi-follow, and the lock mode. Let's take a closer look at the 3 operation modes. Starting from the first mode, follow mode. In this mode, your gimbal will slowly catch up with your wrist movements, the pans and tilts. And you can also choose to control the roll with the joystick. By double-clicking the mode button, you can now go into the second mode, semi-follow. The gimbal still follows the pan, but it stays locked in tilt, and now you can override the tilt with the joystick. Finally, in the third mode, the gimbal is now fully locked in each axis, and you can have all the control used in the joystick. In addition to the operation modes, there are 3 versatile shooting functions that can be used under all 3 operation modes. First, the 180-degree function. With a simple switch of the function, you can change your front view to rear view. And then back. It is also designed for using GoPros on the LA3D-S2 gimbal, since the GoPro mount on the LA3D-S2 is facing the opposite side. Second, the portrait mode, also known as the live stream mode. By double-clicking the power button, the gimbal will now hold your smartphone upright for portrait shoots. Finally is the 360 panoramic function. By triple-clicking the function button, you can now go into the panoramic mode. And shoot some panoramic videos.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to set up the LA3D-S2. First, I'm going to unscrew the power cap. Grab these two 18350 batteries, pop them in, positive end first. Okay, I'm going to grab the gimbal head and the handle, and I'll try to show you white dots on the bottom. You can see those. Okay, I'm going to align them and turn towards the locks. Okay, well, this is an iPhone 7, as I mentioned. I'm going to use my thumb to open up the clamps, put the phone in. Okay, I'm going to do three things to check the balance. First thing, I'm going to secure the gimbal with my right hand, as you can see I'm doing, and I'm going to let the phone face the ground. In this case, you can see it's pretty balanced. It's almost parallel to the ground, but it can be a little bit better. So I'm going to loosen this black screw here, okay, and I'm going to slide this forward or backwards until I've achieved perfect balance. Give it an extra twist, make sure it's tight. Next thing I'm going to do is check the vertical axis. Once again, with my right hand securing the gimbal, and I'm just going to let this phone fall. As you can see, it's top heavy and it's falling forward. I'm going to loosen the silver screw, okay? And now I can, as you can see, slide this forward or backwards. I'm going to find the zero, if you will. It's still falling forward, going to bump it back another millimeter, and I've got pretty good balance. As you can see, I'm shaking it a little bit. Going to tighten this, make sure this is very tight, okay? The last thing you're going to check is the horizontal balance. Right now, it's pretty good actually. This is an example of what would happen if it wasn't though. If the smartphone were too far to the right, for example, it would be falling that way, okay? If you had pushed the phone all the way out to the left, you might be falling this way, okay? I'm going to put it right back to where it was. Okay, now I want to give you a quick rundown on the operation. What I'm going to want to do is hold the power button for about 4 seconds. Holding it with my thumb, the green light indicates that it is on. Okay, so the second thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the mode button for about 5 seconds. As you can see, the gimbal is now stabilizing. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you the modes. When you stabilize the gimbal, this light will turn green, the mode light. The green light means mode 1. Anytime you turn the gimbal on and go into stabilization, it will default into mode 1. Mode 1 is follow mode. That means that whatever I do with my wrist, the gimbal will follow. As you can see, I'm turning my wrist, rotating my wrist, actually now rotating the gimbal handle in my fingers. As I turn it, the gimbal will match the rotation. I can just do 360s. Okay. This also applies to the upward and downward movement. As I move the gimbal handle, the phone will rotate. Now I'm totally upside down. As you can see, it maintains its stability just fine. Now I'm going into mode 2 by pressing the mode button twice. The mode button will now turn red. What this means is now the tilt or pitch will be locked. So as you can see, I am moving the gimbal handle, but the phone is not tilting. However, if I want to tilt the phone, I have the option of using the joystick. Okay, so in mode 2, the tilt or pitch is locked, but can be adjusted with the joystick. The panning, however, is still follow, okay? Still in the follow mode, if you will. So as I turn my wrist, the gimbal will turn. Okay, the last mode is mode 3. 1, 2, 3 taps on the mode button and the light will turn blue. What this now means is even though I am turning my wrist, the phone is not panning, as you can see. Also, if I bring the gimbal handle up, you can see the tilt or the pitch is not changing. If you want to adjust the tilt or the pan, you can do it with the joystick. Anytime I want to go back to mode 1, I'm going to give a single tap and the light will turn green. It'll go back into the basic follow mode where we started. I'm going to show you the 360 panoramic function. I'm going to triple tap the power button. Just going to raise the gimbal up just to show you. 1, 2, 3. What's happening now is that the gimbal is going to rotate 180 degrees to wind up. And then go through a 360 panoramic. Once it finishes the 360, it's going to rotate back 180 degrees to its original position. One really cool function that we've added to the LA3D-S2 and the LA3D-2 is the ability for the gimbal to rotate from landscape to portrait mode. How you do that is tap the power button twice, the gimbal will start rotating, and you will lift the handle up. This is now its center point. Tap the mode button, the light will turn red just as it did before. Now this means that my pitch is locked. Now I can keep the phone perfectly vertical while relaxing my wrist just a little bit. I can also go into mode 3, and now the phone will not move unless I control it with the joystick. So now I am panning in vertical mode, adjusting the pitch or tilt. Double tap the power button, and I'm going back to landscape mode.